So I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer isn't exactly the third installment that you are maybe expecting from this franchise, but given the fact that it is a straight to DVD release, I think there is still enjoyment to be had. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing I Would Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which is the third installment and a bit of a standalone sequel that isn't really connected to the storyline in the first two movies. However, it does reference them, which is really good, and it does spend a long time remaking and recounting all of the similar beats that the first movie had. However, unfortunately, this movie just isn't that interesting or that inspiring. I mean, given the fact that it was a straight to DVD release, it is okay for that reason, but as far as a movie sequel, it just could have been so much better, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So the premise of this storyline is actually pretty decent, as it takes the core material that they have in all of the other movies and does spin it a little bit differently, which is really great. As we start off at a carnival where a group of kids are playing a prank and pretending that they're getting chased by this killer fisherman with a hook, and unfortunately and accidentally one of the group of characters dies and the rest of the group decide to keep this a secret, as they are able to let everyone think that it really was one of the fishermen, and so they dispose of all of their evidence. A year goes by, which is very traditional for this franchise, and this group of characters discover that they are unable to move on with their lives as they are still getting haunted by the past. And as a year has gone by, a brand new fisherman character is now attacking all of them, and so you see which one of them is going to survive and if they're able to stop this fisherman once and for all. Now, from a positive point of view, like I said, they took the source material and adapted it and did make it really interesting, a little bit fresh as well. And it does feel a little bit modernized and has got a little bit of a facelift given all of the parameters that they had, given the fact that this was, of course, a straight to DVD release. And I did like the fact that they retained the same villain from the first two movies, and they did actually reference the group of characters in the first two movies as well, which I thought was a really nice touch. I wish they would have done a little bit more with this, but I feel like the fact that they did nod to it was really great. However, from a negative point of view, you can feel like this is a straight to DVD release movie, as there are very limited jump scares, and in certain moments it does actually feel a little bit comedic when they are trying to make it feel very horrific and very terrifying. And it does take a long time to kind of get going, and you are kind of waiting, looking at your watch until something dramatic happens. But like I said, I think given the fact that they did have a very condensed and reduced budget, I feel like they did do a really good job with the storyline. So given the setting, given the script, given the environment, I feel like the cast and characters do actually do a reasonable job. I mean, unlike the movies, there is no big main name in this film, but like I said, they do a reasonably good job. So let's go through them one by one. So first up, we have Brooke Nevin, who plays a character called Amber. She's the main lead character, but she doesn't really do anything that substantial. I mean, she is the main first person to get all of the text messages saying the classic line, "I know what you did last summer," and in turn is trying to warn the rest of the group. But they also are targets from the fishermen. They also get their own kind of messages. But that being said, Amber is still trying to be the Judy equivalent, played brilliantly by Jennifer Love Hewitt, and is also trying to be a bit of a Sidney Prescott type character as well. Awesomely played by Neve Campbell as well. But I feel like, while she is the main character, she doesn't really do anything that substantial. We also have Torrey DeVitto, who is playing a character called Zoe, who's a bit of an aspiring singer. And through this character, they've got some really wicked set pieces where they have these big musical numbers and this character is singing all the way, and I feel like this character is actually really good. If anything, I would have loved to have seen a little bit more from this character. The guys don't really bring that much to the table either. I mean, one of them does contemplate suicide, considering everything that they did and the burden that this character is feeling from what they did a year ago, which I thought was a really interesting storyline thread that actually none of the other movies or TV shows have really explored before, but they don't really explore it in that much depth in this installment. And the other guy is trying to be a bit of a jerk or jock character, but I feel like he's not really an inch on Ryan Felipe when he was brilliantly bringing that stereotypical character to life in the first installment. We've also got the parents and the teachers and the police officers rounding off the secondary group of characters. But like I said, they don't really do that much. I love the fact that we got Ben Willis back from the first two movies, returning as the unstoppable fisherman character, except this time he seemingly has some supernatural powers, which really allows him to return again and again and again, and also makes him a little bit unstoppable from a killing point of view as well. And I love the consistency that this character is returning from the first 2 installments. But as far as the cast and characters are concerned, reasonably good actors, but I feel like they could have given their characters a lot more to do as well. So from a visuals point of view, it is so apparent that this is a straight to DVD release movie, as it feels very budget TV. I mean, all of the death sequences definitely don't feel that threatening at all. And one of the creators has actually said that they opted not to use CGI, and they really tried to make it as realistic as possible. And in turn, I feel like it just comes across as a little bit of a high school project, as like I said, it's not that threatening. And maybe if they had used CGI, they could have made it look a lot better and a little bit more akin to the movies. But like I said, God, it really isn't at the same high standard as the movies, as even though they were made in the 90s, they already look 10 times better than this straight to DVD release looks. So from a comparisons point of view, I don't think this movie is as good as the first 2 installments within the I Know What You Did Last Summer movie franchise. However, I do actually think it's a lot stronger than the super drawn out, super dreary and super empty TV series adaptation, which just really wasn't that great. I will link all of my reviews for all of the movies and the TV shows linked in the description box below. However, I do actually think this movie is a lot stronger than other straight to DVD releases, such as Urban Legend, Prom Night, and When a Stranger Calls. So actually I don't think it's that bad. However, I think given the fact that it is a straight to DVD release with a very limited budget, I feel like they tried to do the best job that they could. So overall, of course, with our Lawless and What You Did Last Summer, you need to take it for what it is, but I don't think it's actually that awful. I think if they did have a bigger budget, they could have definitely elevated it from a TV movie to actually being a decently good movie, as it does have some really great ingredients and some great aspects to this movie. Like I said, you know, they did modernize it, and I feel like the prank gone wrong aspect of this film, the fact that one of the characters is contemplating suicide, like I said, I feel like they had some really cool elements in this movie, and I feel like if they had got the budget, they could have made it so much better. But of course, you have to take it for what it is, and so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear from you, so please let me know what you thought of this film in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.